Here in Canberra we've just passed the summer solstice. We've had a lot of unexpected heavy rain which has had a big impact on the garden, as you'll see. This time we're going to be sharing the progress Steve has made on the paving, what's happening with the backyard vegetables and our fruit trees, and also looking at some of the work we're doing in the front garden. This is the start of our major harvesting period, so you'll also see our tomatoes and beans. They're producing wildly, as are the zucchinis. Good morning. It's early, just gone 7 o'clock, but I wanted to get out and show you what's happening in the garden. It's been days and days of rain this month. We've had so much rain, it's been so difficult to get out and do anything. We've just had to grab small amounts of time so we can actually do something. So today is the start of 4 days where they're not forecasting rain. So we're hoping to do a whole lot of things here. You can see that the garden is looking just amazing. It is so lush, not surprisingly because of the amount of rain we've had. It's coming on, the tomatoes are finally starting to ripen, and because we're in a cool climate, we actually have to plant our tomatoes a lot later than a lot of other parts of the country. So it's pretty usual for our tomatoes only to be starting to ripen in January and even into February many years. So we can expect a couple of months of warm weather, so the tomatoes will continue on. The lettuce, you probably can't see it down here, it's absolutely gone to seed, it's starting to bolt. We've got lots of fennel, we've got beans coming. In the back of the yard, you can just see how amazing that corn is. Again, I'm going to go and feed it. It's been a bit hard because anything we've put on has just basically been washed straight away by the sheer amount of rain. Enough of talking and a bit more of doing. Please stick around to the end. I look forward to sharing our garden with you. Well, it turned out that when I tried to tie up some of the tomatoes, they're just so badly fallen over that I really can't do anything with them. Every time I tried to pick them up, I really ran the risk of snapping the branches off, so in the end I just decided to leave those ones that I couldn't get up easily, just to leave them lying down. And all I can do is hope that we can get to most of the tomatoes before the snails do. Steve has been working hard on the paving. Like all such tasks, buying the stone and getting it home is actually the simplest part of the process, and the rest has taken a lot of time and effort. It's not just one job, as we've discovered, but many. From the layout, which we did out on another piece of concrete in the garden, transferring all the stones down here, it's turned out to be more complicated than we expected. As we're laying crazy paving, you can't just lay the stones in a straightforward pattern. Many need to be cut to find the correct place for them. So it's really good that we're getting close to the end of the project, or I should say Steve's getting close to the end of the project. He's been working really hard to get this sorted. I'm looking forward to being able to use it. We're having a bit of a test run today. So just checking out what it might look like to sit here and look at all those zucchinis, the pumpkin going crazy up the rose bushes. We've been working in the front garden, trying to just fix up this area, which has never quite worked. We're planting lots of bulbine lilies, which we've grown from the plants already in our yard. The plants we're using in this part of the garden are mainly open woody grassland plants, and they can be really hard to get. And of course it won't actually be until spring next year that we'll see whether our field of bulbine lilies actually comes good. After working on planting out the bulbine lilies in the front garden, I took the opportunity to go over and visit the local cool climate native plant nursery. It's a great spot. I bought a number of plants which will go well in the front garden. I bought murnong, which is the yam daisy, one of the most well-known Australian Indigenous foods. I've also bought alpine podolepis, which is a large robust daisy, and a plant that's new to me called pomax, which is a small herbaceous plant which has flowers in little umbrella-like formations. Hard to believe, but this is the pot which had all the lettuces that I repotted just when we got back from overseas last year. It's been overtaken by self-sown tomatoes, and what's amazing is that we're actually getting fruit ripening on them. So this is really early for fruit ripening on tomatoes in Canberra, and given that these ones sort of were self-sown fairly late, it's amazing we're getting anything on them, let alone fruit, ripening fruit, and quite a bit of it from the looks of things. So I'm just going to keep fertilising it and letting it go and see where we get to. These are my 3 racks of nectarines drying. I'll be using these in my muesli and for my snacks throughout the year. This is just the first lot off the tree. The birds are already getting into them, so I'm going to be picking them progressively. I'll have to go out and do a whole lot more tomorrow. These are drying really well. The dehydrator died in the bum, so this is why we're doing it in the oven. Oh, and by the way, the fork's just there to keep the oven door propped open so the moisture comes out. Hello, this is this year's babies. They come to visit. Hello, sweeties. Are you listening? We think they're both females, not 100% sure. Hello. It's now the end of January, and our main tomato varieties, Blue Beauty, Genuine and Groslis, are ripening, and we've started making passata already. We're still waiting on some of those other tomato varieties to come on, but it's just a matter of time. So, apart from that, we've been picking lots of zucchinis. I think the count's up to 55 zucchinis so far. Lots of beans. The Purple Queens have been delivering wonderfully. And we've got a whole raft of pumpkins out on our front verge, which we're hoping will ripen sometime soon and won't get nicked by passing people. Thanks for joining us today. I hope you'll come back another time and see what's happening in the house of the 2 feral gardeners. Bye for now.